Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I wanted to make a video now just in response to like some of the things that I saw about universal basic income. It's actually what inspired me to like make the video came from some comments, and then how the conversation proceeded just really made me want to like jump on and talk about it. As always, better in voice, I think. But what I find is that I realize, and I think it's because I've removed myself. So over the whole vaccination period or whatever, I definitely got into a sort of defensive role. I became a lot more angry. My life was not very high vibrational at that time because I felt like I was really defending myself against people trying to force me to be vaccinated and cut me out of society if I, didn't have that. And then what I realized is that I had lost that inner joy, I'd lost that abundance and that where everything around you is magical and flow, because being in a state of anger or a state of fear, and I might not have been in fear over the virus, but we were in fear that we were losing our rights, we were in fear that we we're gonna not be a part of society, that we were going to be cut out. There was still fear connected to it, even though we might try to make out we weren't fearful. There was still some level of negative energy, right? And the thing is that now I'm in a totally different state. All this talk really is starting to annoy me. Where it's like just an obsession with the one world order, the Illuminati. I get it, it's good to be aware of these things. It's definitely good to be aware of where people pull on your emotions. They try to control you. It's good to go above this and beyond this, to be sovereign, to be independent, to make your own decisions on things. Really good. To stand your ground, to stand firm in your beliefs and not to fold. These are important things for sure. But what I've started to notice now is that people are sort of in a constant loop of negativity around it and constant fear. And the way I see the world, and obviously we're all entitled to see it differently. And this is another thing. It's like, I can't, I probably was quite bad for this in the past, where you kind of think if people don't agree with you or have the same opinion that they're somehow stupid or idiotic. And that's like a real ego drive, and it's really unimpressive when other people read it. No, if you have an opinion and somebody tries to make you feel stupid for your opinion, you just don't want to talk to them anymore, right? It's not going to convert anybody or change anybody or get them to see your way of thinking. It's just going to make them want to remove themselves from your page as quickly as humanly possible. I think we've all been guilty of it. We've all been guilty of thinking people are stupid that don't agree with us. But everyone's got their own life path, everyone's got their own opinions. No one really knows the ultimate truth of anything, because there's always a higher and higher truth. And I think the more you go on the journey, the more you realize, just let people have their opinions. We can debate, we can argue our points, we can try and kind of share opinions and debate with one another to try and formulate our truths on deeper levels. But to go around thinking everybody that doesn't have your opinion is stupid or somehow doesn't get it is just very patronizing, isn't it? No one's going to want to talk to those people for long, unless they always agree with them on everything, and then there'll be something they don't agree with, and no one's going to agree with everything on everybody on everything. And it's about having proper debate, and not just sort of ramroding, if you don't agree with me, then you're just stupid and ignorant and you don't know what's going on. I think I've definitely done that, and I've seen the error of my ways. I've grown. But I just see this constant negative looping. And this was why I never got into conspiracies first time around back in the day, and I went straight on the spiritual journey. But then I did dip back into it quite a bit over COVID. And because I did feel my rights were threatened, it did come from a slightly fear-based perspective, I guess, that we were losing our rights as individuals. And I did feel very guided to stand up for that, to talk. I probably went too far with it, but whatever, I did feel very guided to sort of air that online, to give other people confidence, to air their opinions. And I don't think we should ever be in that state where we are not able to express our opinion, or where we're silenced, or I do think that a lot of people didn't dare express their opinions, and I think it was important to express our opinions and to work through that barrier. But then I just see this constant negativity, and the thing is, the way I see the world, and that's okay if you don't see it in the same way, but the way I connect to my higher self and the way I see things is that we're always creating our reality. And we're always creating different timelines. And I've really seen that because once I've stepped away from constantly going on and on and on about the negative stuff and the sort of like conspiracy theories and the one world, the one world order and new world order and, all this stuff. We all know all the stuff that people talk about and I've talked about and I've looked into. I realized that once I stepped out of that, like, I really found my magic again and my flow. And I was just focused literally on being in the now, being in the moment, having the best possible time in each moment. And I feel my life has started filling with loads of abundance. It might not be from money, but I've been invited on 2 incredibly magical holidays that I've been in my dream locations and it will all be free. I just feel like I'm living abundance like all the time now because it's just flowing and I'm allowing it because I'm just being and I'm being more in my own self and I'm not so focused on these things because we have different timelines. The earth has different timelines. The earth, every single thing has like a high vibrational timeline and a low vibrational timeline. It's like blockchain, it can be used to really elevate society. It can also be used for really negative ways, to strip everybody of their money, to manipulate people. The same with universal basic income, there's like a really amazing timeline for that where we can have med beds and AI doing all the jobs that we don't want to do, and then we can literally be free as humans. And then of course there's the very nefarious timeline, but our words create our reality. And the best thing, in my opinion, that we can do as society, if we want to evolve, is to focus on our own joy. Yes, stand strong on things, but to focus on joy, to focus on freedom, to focus on things that we want to create, to live in the moment. If everybody on earth was living like this, no one would ever be able to control society. If everybody was just living their joy and they were living their highest vibrational timeline, then that's what we create, and even within like a horrible major timeline, we can still create bubbles of joy, bliss, flow, magic, amazing timelines, because we're creating, like, we are the creators and we're powerful. And actually, by giving all of our power to some small circle of people and saying, oh, they're going to control, they're going to do that is giving away our innate power to somebody else, rather than understanding, like, we create our reality, we're all powerful, there's all various timelines that are all coexisting at one time, and we just want to align to the best one. And as soon as I actually started focusing on my joy, I started focusing on all this stuff, it looks very repellent to me now, because I see the negativity and the looping and the fear-based talk all the time, and this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, and it's just creating it. There's no better way to create something than to talk about it endlessly. And that's how you create your reality, by your words and your affirmations. You're kind of affirming worst case scenario daily. And I really see it so much more clearly now. I've stepped away from it and I've stepped into just more of a place of just being, enjoying, and just focusing on my own highest timeline. And it's such a different world, and I really see how I got caught up in it for a bit. And I also did all that stuff like, oh, these people are idiots and stupid, and that's not going to put you on a higher vibrational timeline. That's just going to put you on it's all right if you say it with a joke, as long as you can sort of see through the ego and you can laugh about it, then fine, or whatever. But it's just looping round. And I did a video the other day that I haven't uploaded yet on about how women sometimes can misery loop scenarios with guys and life, because we tend to like sort of over talk and over analyze. Well, this is kind of the same thing with conspiracies. We're kind of looping negative experiences because we're talking about them all the time. We're bringing them into reality and we're going to create them. There's all kinds of timelines. We're a spirit in a human form. If you think that some small group of people can like not only control you, but what can they do to your spirit? You know, we're here as a human, but our spirit is eternal, and it's not like some group of people can do something and stop our eternal spirits from creating this life. I just think actually there's a time and a place to stand up for your opinion, stand up for your rights or whatever. And there's a time and a place to just create your own bliss, create your own abundance, focus on your own healing, your own journey, because it's very much just giving your power away, in my opinion, to do this. And you are in your power when you are creating an amazing, abundant reality for yourself, and you're not living in fear, you're not living in worst case scenario, you're not living in negative loops, you're just focusing on building for yourself. There's all kinds of cases throughout history where people have created amazing bubbles for themselves within even horrible times in society. And you've got to start thinking about what you want to create. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that for now, but I don't know if anyone else has found that. I feel like I've got so many sort of like conspiracy theorists now as well, because obviously I spoke out about the vaccines. I feel like now I've got this whole circle of people, and all I see is just negativity, worst case, fear-based. And I just want to live in joy at the moment. I'm having a blast. I'm loving life. I'm doing stuff that I'm passionate about all the time. I'm really focused on creating right now. Just creating, and I've got amazing things coming in. I just want to live that, I just want to live that. I don't want to focus on like worst case, fear-based, negative things anymore, like certainly not in this moment anyway. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well, and thanks for checking out my videos and tuning into my channel. It's really weird because I totally kind of let go of this channel because I just was more focused on the travel, and then suddenly it started to build back up again. So there you go, when you're not chasing and checking it every day you do better. All right, much love everyone, bye.